I remember doing a show at the LA Coliseum in front of 18,000 people.
Important records of our generation, you know what I mean, of our time. And I'm talking about the hip-hop generation. The first is always the groundbreaker. You can never compare anything that happens after that to it, because it opened the door for everything else that happened afterward.
I was there in '79 when that song blew up, and it changed the music industry forever. When we went on the road, we opened for the biggest acts of the day, playing huge arenas like the Spectrum in Philly and the Checker Dome in St. Louis. Some of these acts didn't like us. They would sabotage the show by turning the lights on in the middle of the performance, fucking with the sound and shit. They looked at us like, what are these guys doing? They're not singing. They're talking over the music like we weren't musicians. But 6 weeks later, we were the headliners, kicking ass on stage. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Here's Wonder Mike, Hank, and Master G, the Sugarhill Gang.
My grandmother used to send me cards from Connecticut. And when you're a boy, you're a master. And when you're a man, you're a mister. So I like the whole Master Guy O'Brien. I used to like how that read when, I would see the card. So when I was thinking about a name for myself, Master's cool. So I put the Master with the first initial of my first name, which is Guy, 2 E's on the end of it, and that's how I came up with Master G.
I remember kids all across New York City and the suburbs had their boom boxes and their radios and were rapping and dancing to Rapper's Delight. It was crazy. That's all you heard on the radio. That's all you saw on the street. A lot of record executives didn't acknowledge it. Radio stations didn't acknowledge it. They thought hip-hop was nothing more than a fad, like the Pet Rock and Moon Rocks.
So we get over to New York. As soon as we hit 125th Street, I hear my voice. It's mom and pop shops all up and down 125th Street. So I hear the record, I hear my voice coming out of one place, and then I look across the street and I hear the record coming out of another place, and we start going down 125th Street, and the only record I hear is Rapper's Delight.
Rapper's Delight is the #1 selling hip-hop single of all time. It sold well over 10 million records. For an independent label, this never happened before. They were selling 50,000 units a day. I know, I was going to Long Island City and Joey's 98 to pick them up. Music business started paying attention. Wonder Mike and Master G were pioneers who opened the door for many other artists.
We kicked down the door and helped everybody come in so they can get their record deals. Our first show, oh my God, women were fainting and they were passing them over the crowd and throwing water on them and fanning them after the, it went like that. It went on like that for about a year and a half. Oh God. But
it's mega. I mean, they changed the face of hip hop just by being like the first, not the ones in the Bronx and the Cool Hercs, but the ones that broke it like mainstream, like for the world to really see it. So no matter how you look at it, Sugarhill Gang was definitely iconic.
Just to be on the radio and, you know, be able to go global and go across the country, then across the waters.
Yep.
Rappers Delight broke all that.
That's great.
You know, and it was a beautiful thing. But like I said, at first we was like, who the heck is that? And where the heck did they come from?
Exactly.
I want to tell Wonder Mike, Master G, thank you, brothers, for laying that foundation for not only Naughty by Nature, but tons and tons of artists and inspiring rappers and producers and DJs and everybody who's down with hip hop.
I mean, the Sugarhill Gang was probably the first time people outside of the hood heard somebody rapping on a record. Like, that was the first voice of hip hop. On 34th Street or 42nd Street in Times Square or Uptown or in Brooklyn or in Jersey, wherever you was at, and as soon as that came on, you were like, boom, you knew every word. And your mom knew the words to the song. So that was crazy. That didn't happen before, and not in black music.
For the first time in my life, I felt like I was in the right place.
From 1979 to 1984, the Sugarhill Gang toured the world with their hits, Rapper's Delight, Apache, and Eighth Wonder. Songs like Living in the Fast Lane and The Lover in You were huge hits in Europe. They were bringing hip-hop to the world, but there was a dark side to their story.
You know, New York had its scene, which is right there, that's Manhattan, and that side right there is the Bronx. But Inglewood is right across the bridge. It's the second exit when you come across the bridge. It's, I think, 1.5 miles from right there, from Manhattan. And it definitely had its own active, you know, hip-hop scene for a good 2 years prior to Rapper's Delight coming out. Mike and Guy were definitely in groups before Sugarhill Gang. They were MCs before Sugarhill Gang, and they had their names before Sugarhill Gang. We interviewed Stephen Daly, contributing editor of Vanity Fair magazine and author of the article Hip Hop Happens.
Sylvia Robinson was the musical half of the partnership. She had a long history of writing, recording, and producing hit records throughout several eras of music, going way back to when she was in her teens in the 1950s. Joe, on the other hand, was a kind of hard-scrabble guy and a bit of a shady character, and, he was believed to have made his living through illicit means. He was reputed to have in his desk drawer 2 pearl-handled revolvers, and I believe he had the demeanor of a man that you don't mess around with. In the mid-50s, Mo Levy was the proprietor of the legendary nightclub and the Jazz Shrine, and he also had a label, Roulette Records. Roulette Records released jazz records by people like Count Basie and Sarah Vaughan. The label also released several hit rock and roll records. Frankie Lyman and the teenagers were on the label for a time, and so Morris Levy had a good thing going at that time. Morris Levy was pretty fast and loose with his business practices, and he would list himself as a writer of a lot of the songs on Roulette, much to the surprise of the actual writers. One of the most famous examples of that is Simon and the Teenagers, a big hit from 1956, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? As an artist, Sylvia had been ripped off, and Joe had been around Morris Levy, who was known to be one of the, slickest rip-off artists in music. And I guess when you grow up in those, when you're accustomed to those kind of circumstances early in your career, you tend to bring those habits forward with you till later. And, the Sugarhill records of the 1970s and 80s had many echoes of the ways that record labels were run in the 1950s. Joe went to an old associate of his, Morris Levy, who was widely known to be the mafia's man in the music business. And he visited Levy on his horse farm in upstate New York, asked him to front some money for the new label. And this Morris Levy did. I think the Robinsons probably came to regret taking that loan because it came with a heavy price. The involvement with Levy dragged on into the 80s, and there was only going to be one winner in that situation. They created a type of family atmosphere. To anyone with an objective eye, it would appear like a dysfunctional family.
My relationship initially was like, another family. I became very close to Miss Robinson. Her and I have a very, very, very mother-son kind of relationship.
The artists were not taken seriously. They did not receive detailed royalty statements. They were given presents in lieu of royalty payments. And Joe and Sylvia, I think, expected them to be grateful for having the chance to get in the recording studio in the first place. These were young artists, very inexperienced, and the Robinsons could run roughshod over them.
They didn't send off the signal to me that they were crooks. She was going to Bible study and all this kind of thing, and praising the Lord and all. So, you seem like church people. She's like, oh, okay. I didn't know a lot about her.
When I think back at all these practices, writing down our social security numbers and writing the lyrics out so they could send them in to be copywritten. Come on, we're young in the business. You had to take advantage like that.
Instead of the full writer's credits going to who actually wrote it, Leland's name would get thrown in, Joey's name would get thrown in, Miss Rob's name would get thrown in as a co-writer, written by, instead of just Michael Wright, Guy O'Brien, it might be Leland Robinson, Michael Wright, Guy O'Brien, or Joey Robinson, Michael Wright, Guy O'Brien.
That's why they had to be a writer. And that's why everything went through Sugarhill Publishing. They didn't tell you nothing about opening up Master G Publishing or Wonder Mike Publishing. It was all Sugarhill Publishing because they knew that when the record stopped selling, the publishing was going to last forever.
The record industry in New York City was run by a man named Morris Levy. And although he had muscle here in New York, he had, his own Jewish muscle here that he used to go around and make guys that play records and sell records and distribute records. He needed somebody in Harlem area, so he found a guy by the name of Joey Robinson Sr. And Joey, was up in the Sugarhill area, and he realized that he needed him, so he basically put him under his tutelage and tried to make him kind of his urban black protege. Involvement with Levy, you could say, ran their label in the manner of small-time gangsters.
Way up to Amsterdam Avenue. And of course, this was a sweet life. Even in the 70s, it was a sweet life. I mean, some of the most famous black people in the world lived here. Duke Ellington.
This is where Joe Robinson told me that this is where he ran his numbers at too. Right here in this area. Yeah. So this is amazing, man. Being at Sugarhill Records we all had a saying. We all said to ourselves, always said amongst ourselves that, you know, that Big Joe was he was a crook, but he was an honest crook. You know, in terms of, like, you know, he would tell you what you was gonna get, even though it may not be right, but he would tell you straight up that I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna give you this.
I think the Robinsons made well over $100 million off of them. And I don't think the guys made more than $250,000 apiece in 30 years. That's less than minimum wage, man.
You know, we start going to check the royalty statements, and now, you know, oh, well, you're in the red. You know, you're in the red. What do you mean we're in the red? We sold millions of records.
The amount of money that was coming in that was being spent by Joey and them, and the amount of money that the artists had, you could just see it wasn't right.
Most other people, if they're gonna rip you off, you make 10 million, they give you $1 million or $500,000, make it look good. So they don't look so damn greedy. Not what these motherfuckers be.
Meanwhile, Joey's 17 and has, like I said, has a 98, this is 1979. He had a 79 98, a 79 Corvette Stingray. I think the Ferrari was a 77. Didn't like the Corvette, got rid of the Corvette, and had his mother bought him a 1980 450 SLC as a graduation present. So all of this money is being spent by them, but the artists didn't have anything.
I got evicted from my apartment. My cars got repossessed. I was just in dire straits. You know, I was living on. I was sleeping on this lady's couch. I was living from hand to mouth, just kind of hustling up gigs and here and there and piecing money together.
They're coming off tours, 2 and 3 month tours, and they don't have anything. You know, they got a few clothes, you know, a little bit of jewelry, but you've been going for 3 months. We're hearing your record 25 times a day, and you're still living in the same building.
And I woke up one morning and was broke. I realized I woke up one morning and didn't have a dime to my name. That's when I knew something was wrong. It wasn't supposed to be this way, you know. And then they were still okay though.
The pioneers of commercial hip-hop were part of a con that swindled them out of millions and tried to destroy their legacy.
We would release records domestically, and we didn't hear them on the radio, and we didn't get a lot of play from them, so we thought the records were duds. I started questioning my ability to create. I started questioning my ability to perform. I thought I, didn't have it. All I had was, Rapper's Delight, 8th One, and Apache. That was all we had because all the stuff that we were doing, supposedly, it wasn't selling. People didn't like it.
By this time, they didn't trust the Robinsons. They knew they were being robbed. They had a new sound they wanted to experiment with, had new material that they had written and wanted to record, but the Robinsons wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow them to grow as artists.
Again, we were all young, so, nobody really knew about contracts and how much money should be being made. But things started to, I guess, go south with the company. That's why they wound up leaving. They wound up disbanding.
So I was around 22, 23 at the time, and it was too much for me to deal with. So I went from being high as a kite to being low as a snake's belly. I fell into a deep, deep state of violent depression.
When Master G walked away in 1984, his depression led him to drugs.
The worst thing to do is do drugs when you're depressed, So that's what I was doing. The more things got worse for me, the more cocaine I wanted to do.
When Wonder Mike left the next year, he was angry, frustrated. I guess all the shit that was going down didn't help his health. His asthma started getting worse. Diabetes started getting worse. Started losing his sight.
When Guy left in '84, I left in '85, and I stayed away. I stayed away from music. I started a interior-exterior paint service.
To make a living, Master G sold magazines door to door.
I didn't want to become a cocaine addict, so the magazine business actually helped me get away from that. Because I'm gonna tell you something, the hardest thing in the world for me to do was to be able to come from being as successful as I was as a musician and then and an entertainer, and to go into that magazine situation, literally knocking on people's doors, getting doors slammed in my face and called a nigger and this and that and other thing and blah, 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 blah. And you know, like I said, a year ago, I was on stage in the south of France with 20,000 people.
Mike got married, had a family. Unfortunately, things didn't work out for Mike and his wife, and in the early 90s, the marriage was in trouble. Eventually, Mike got a divorce.
Fast forward to mid-90s, mid to late 90s, Joey wants to put the group back together. Contacts Guy. Guy doesn't want to be involved in it because it was basically going to be the same thing as before, where I'm in control of everything and I'll give you, you know, I'll get you an apartment, I'll get you a car. And at this point, people are grown now, they're grown men. You know, I don't need you to get me an apartment or a car. Pay me what you're supposed to pay me and I can buy my own things.
When Mike returned to Sugar Hill, he had to paint houses on the side to make ends meet. You know, he had to send money home for the kids. He later called this time, from 94 to 2005, the 11 dumbest years of my life.
Joey Jr.'s ambition knows no bounds. He replaced Master G, one of the original Sugarhill Gang, for the live stage show, the revival show, when Master G was not inclined to appear. And Joey made himself part of the band, and in fact, I believe has been known to refer to himself as Master G at times, taking on the persona of another person.
I think the first time we wanted to do Master G was in Miami, Florida. We were playing a place called the Cameo Theater, and next thing I know, he's coming out doing Master G. And I said, you're gonna change your name, aren't you? No, what's up? You're not Master G, yo. You could do the parts. I mean, people leave, people pass away. The group I had in mind was the Temptations. They come in and replace David Ruffin with Dennis Edwards. Dennis Edwards don't call himself David Ruffin.
G was the son that Sylvia never had. You know, that's the reason why Sylvia and G were so close. He always wanted to be like him and stuff. So after G left, you know, that was his grand opportunity to step in and try to, and plus, you know, being, you know, the greedy person that he is, you know, he saw an opportunity to go out and still make money, you know what I'm saying, without G.
When we was on the road doing shows and stuff, we started seeing the Sugarhill Gang that wasn't the Sugarhill Gang that we knew. Like our old CEO was on stage rhyming the original rapper's rhymes. It was like, where the hell did this come from? Like,
it's just like you going in front of the camera and saying that you know, oh, here I'm 50 Cent.
Me, Guy, and Hank. There's no Joey. He was never part of the Sugarhill Gang.
You know, in the early days at Sugar Hill, Mike and Guy would see stretch limos pull up. Guys in suits would get out and march up to Joe Sr.'s office. The whispers were that Joe and the mob were tied in and everybody knew not to mess with Joe. When Joe Sr. passed, Wonder Mike and Master G no longer felt intimidated by that stuff.
When Mr. Rob was on his deathbed, it was about 3 days before he passed. I think he was in Hackensack Hospital. I went up to see him, and nobody had known I was up there. I went in to see him, and I said, I don't even know if you could hear me. But I'd like to pray with you. Said a little prayer and left. Next thing I know, a few days later, he had passed. I think the whole family was up there when he passed. But this is a strange life. You run the whole gamut of emotions, and at that time, right there in that moment, praying with this man and praying for this man, but disagreeing with some of the ways that the business went down here. It was like wow. It's like this giant cauldron of heated emotions, and but I couldn't be mad at that point. He was really sick, and some people pass on, and he was getting ready to be one of those people.
It was the passing of the old school moguls. The business was changing, except the Sugarhill Records. Sylvie was so upset at Joe's passing, she basically retired from the music business. That left Joey and Leland to run the company. Free of Joe Sr. and Morris Levy, Mike and Guy started asking questions, and Joey didn't like that. What can you say when you see history go up in flames? All the records were destroyed. There was nothing left of the building. It seemed like a torch job. The fire investigators said there was no proof of arson, but the word on the street was different. Not only were many great master records destroyed, but the financial records went up in flames too. Rumor is, the only thing that survived the fire was Joe Rob's urn holding his ashes.
I heard, like, when it burnt down and everything, the news was on, and, you know, it's what it was. It was speculation how the fire started and all that, but we were going by then. We was just like, wow. Pretty much, that's all I could say, wow. Because this was a historical landmark here.
You see the little building, Hitsville, USA in Detroit? That's what this is to hip hop, man. This is like an international landmark, which should have been preserved and been like a hip hop museum, you know? I mean, the Sugarhill Gang came out of here. You know, a whole slew of hip hop's foundation of records came out of here. So sad to see it go, but this is the memories, man.
But when it burned, I think everybody, because everybody in Inglewood knows how they are. They know they're grimy, know they're shiesty.
Yep.
Everybody knows that, you know, basically their nickname is Robber Nigga instead of Robinson.
Right.
And when it burned, I think everybody, you know, just felt like, you know, like they had something to do with it. They kind of robbed the community. You know what I'm saying? Like you had something to do with it.
Right.
You know, and you took this from us.
Hey. All right.
What's that thing across the street
Oh, that's the place that changed my life. Pretty much. The building was right there. Of course, that's gone now, but the place changed my life. You know, life was not the same after I recorded that record. Absolutely not the same.
The bittersweet part is the financial part. It could have been another Motown. It could have been Motown for hip hop, but they didn't run it right. That's why you don't see shit here today. but a sidewalk higher than the damn, where the building used to be. It just kind of pisses me off, but it's all good.
They getting rich, and you can't go and buy a house or something like that. It gotta be frustrating. I mean, I'm not here to talk about who got what and who don't, or who's doing this and that, but I know it gotta be frustrating. I know my father gets really frustrated sometimes. He has to. I just feel like they doing what they gotta do to make ends meet, to keep food on the table and provide for themselves and their children. I don't regret growing up how I grew up at all, man, because it made me respect life. I mean, it made me learn the world of work, and it made me dig deep inside myself and really do what it is that I had to do in order to get to where I'm going. Like, if I was fed with a silver spoon, I'd be probably a totally different person. No telling where I'd be at.
I'm the king of the world!
Got watches, bracelets. My life is ridiculous.
This is what, 50 altogether? 50,000.
But if you don't do it big, there's no way to do it.
Thanks, Bert. Appreciate it, man. I need $400,000 today. I've seen this Bentley. I want to buy it.
Hip, the hop, the hip to the hip hop, you don't stop. Sugarhill Gang started hip hop.
Oh, shows how you really feel. Okay.
Joey tried to exterminate them from music history. Tried to wipe them out, man. Taking their band name, taking their stage names. He even said they were dead and shit. Well, they're back from the dead, and they want their names back.
Yo, it's your boy, D-Dynasty. And I'm up in the building with living legends. Sugarhill Gang, Wonder Mike, Master G, Hit Diggity.
Henry was on board. He left with me. I asked Hank, I said, come on, man, let's just leave. Let's start over. Let's do something else in music. Let's start our own damn group. And I called Guy and I said,
listen, you want to do some new music? I said yes. We started from that. And everything else has come as a result of what we've been working to do, which is to finish the album.
I've been around the world, seen a lot of things, had some diamond rings, things that rap brings.
I think Hank was too gutless and heartless to leave, and too afraid. He was afraid of Joey. Oh, give me a break. So he didn't leave. So the deal that was inherently in place was to capitalize on his gutlessness and say that, okay, well, at least we have an original member. And that's how they started advertising. But they advertise themselves as the real guys. And they're not.
Guy and Mike were always in communication. Guy always told Mike, if you leave him, you know, you and I can talk. You know, he never had a problem with Mike. If you leave him, you and I can talk as far as, you know, putting it back together and doing our own thing. So when Mike left in 05, him and Guy hooked up, and now they're out as, you know, the real Sugarhill Gang. They are the real Sugarhill Gang. Master G, Guy O'Brien, under Mike, Michael Wright, and as I said, Henry Williams, Hen Dog, who took Big Bang Hank's place. Real Sugarhill Gang. He's not acting as though he's Big Bang Hank. You know, he lets everybody know, I took Hank's place, I'm Hen Dog. Then there's a fake Sugarhill Gang out there. Joey Robinson, on any given night, he'll be Wonder Mike, Big Bang Hank, or Master G.
But if you listen clearly, the track is playing.
You hear that voice?
You hear Mike's voice. You
hear it just as plain as day.
Just as plain as
Just
day.
go to YouTube. You hear it every day.
You hear it every day.
Every
you know,
day.
it's not that I'm making it up.
Go ahead. Just a little chant type shit. All right, let's try it again. You know, Ohio plays type shit. Well, my name back or something.
Like that Sugarfoot thing. Huh? Like that Sugarfoot type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, my name back.
Robinson's life sold almost 10 million records, and we got to fight. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, unnecessary. At a dollar then? That's $10 million.
So your brother Joey was telling people that he was the original Master G?
I don't know that to be a truth, Jonesy. Excuse me? I don't know that to be a truth. I know he was performing as Master G.
Oh, so he was performing as Master G. That's the same thing. Leland, what I want to know is, at this particular point, why is it that they can't use the Sugarhill Gang name?
Because they don't own the name and they don't know none of that.
So basically what he's done is taken away their group name, and on top of that, has taken away their stage names that they used, created, well before they became members of the Sugarhill Gang. And that's what makes this case one of the most blatant cases of identity theft.
We're talking to the Sugarhill Gang and Sugarhill, and then we're also talking to the owners of Sugarhill Records. I would like to know if there's any, this is kind of upsetting to me because
very upsetting to me.
Reasons, keep it clean,
Please.
for different reasons. Because Sugarhill Gang is like the first rap artist that we knew of
Exactly.
in hip hop, and it's kind of disgraceful that they're coming on to the show, and this is the issue. Like,
Well, why would they come on the show 30 years later?
well, we have
First of all,
we have Melissa Morgan on here. That's what we do on Fridays. Well, the Robinson family is very wealthy. You guys are
Your facts are not this. You can't validate your facts.
at this point. Leland, at this point, is there any hope at all for any type of resolve? Because this is disgraceful to hip hop.
I mean, think how you feel when your credit cards are stolen or your driver's license is stolen, and you just have to go through the simple pains of replacing your driver's license and your credit cards and making the phone calls. Now you have guys who have to prove that they are who they are when they are who they are.
Go ahead, Leland.
I told Guy, word for word, to his face, yo, if there's some issues, go sit down with Joey and talk to Joey about it, and y'all probably can work out.
Now, Joey is who?
Hey,
Joey's the one that's been saying he's me all these years.
Yeah. Man, you ain't nobody. You
okay, I'm nobody, right?
So who is Joey? Your brother Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, is Joey available?
They know who's calling.
This is Jay Berger.
Can you give him a call on the number I gave you yesterday?
Yes, I tried him and I called him a bunch of times and he hasn't picked up yet. So I was wondering whether he's in the office or not.
Yeah, he should be. Give him a call on the other number I gave you.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Which we just did, so. We tried since Monday, about 7 times.
This is disgraceful. It really is. It's sad to come to this, but I'm hoping that opening it up for discussion, maybe y'all will, after this, I'm gonna burn each of you copies of this interview. No, for real, that they can come to some sort of resolution because it has been 20 years. And the Robinson family is very, very, very wealthy. So, I mean, Leland is a decent guy. I know him personally, and I don't, I think that you guys probably can work something out on some level. But again, that's what I do here. I didn't want to have you guys on, and then they're calling my cell phone, and then I don't let them talk.
I got no problem with that.
So,
I still don't understand how they got somebody doing.
we're gonna come back
him.
with Jonesy's shoes. I think Leland's still on the phone with Michael Sean, so you can ask Leland.
Should do a diss record or something.
Brothers impersonating Master G.
It was one thing to steal their money. It was one thing to steal their credit. It was another thing to take their names, their goodwill, literally their souls. I mean, you've got 2 guys who really are Wonder Mike and Master G, and you've got these people over here who are parading other people around as if they were Wonder Mike and Master G, and presenting themselves as them and literally lip syncing to their songs.
All they got to do is say, listen, I'm Joey Robinson. Master G, the original Master G is no longer part of the group. I'm performing. No. He's telling people, I have read in interviews, are you the original Master G? I am the original Master G. That's not right. And all I'm back here to do, I don't need no damn money. I want what's mine. All I'm back here to do is get what's owed to me. And that's my rightful place in music history, dog. He is not me.
That's
He is
Master
not me.
G,
He will
y'all.
never be me.
Master G from
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. As far as the other stuff, we'll let the lawyers deal with that.
But you need money to sue someone. Only thing they could afford was free legal aid. The Robinsons, they like to string you out and wait you out, keep it in court. You know, they would offer you a little settlement, but it would be scraps. The guys spoke to Melly Mel, and he suggested artist rights.
Back in the late 70s, Guy O'Brien and Michael Wright were already performers, and they were performing as Master G and Wonder Mike. Probably at least 22 or 23 years later, Joseph Robinson Jr. went ahead and tried and successfully trademarked the names Master G and Wonder Mike, and he signed a document under penalty of perjury saying that those names did not refer to any living person, when in fact he knows that they refer to Guy O'Brien and Michael Wright.
Don't litigate this case. Your career's over. Your professional career, if you give in to Joey Robinson on this case, that means, technically speaking, he will never let you use any of those terms. And you'll always be fighting with him, and there's a chance that, what I mean by your career, I mean your career using those names. And
Right.
that is just not an option.
Right.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not an option.
Nope. Definitely not an option.
He found out, he being Joseph Robinson, found out that they were going to perform in several venues, I think one in Florida, in Jersey, possibly here in New York, that they were going to appear, and had his lawyers send cease and desist letters to these venues and promoters saying that he owned, number one, their Sugarhill Gang trademark, and number two, that he owned Wonder Mike and Master G. Okay? Now, technically speaking, he cannot block them from using the Sugarhill Gang. There's nothing that stops anyone from using a descriptive term. That's like saying I can never say if I'm Paul O'Neill, I can never say I played for the New York Yankees. It's just not the law. You can always use a descriptive term. The problem that you have here is that surreptitiously he went and trademarked their names too. And that's why we filed an action on their behalf to cancel those marks, because he had no right, he had no ownership of the name Sugarhill Gang, and he had absolutely no ownership of the names Wonder Mike and Master G.
They try to intimidate promoters by saying, by calling up and threatening to sue them, because we're the real ones, they're the fake ones.
Promoter Jeff Allen was supposed to talk about the Robinsons suing him for booking the real Wonder Mike and Master G, the real Sugarhill Band. His lawyer resolved the suit just minutes prior to our filming, and Jeff was unable to speak about the Robinsons.
I don't know really until today. I really didn't know about Sugarhill's claim to the name Master G or Wonder Mike. I really don't know anything about that.
We suspect they settled the suit under the usual terms for promoters. You can't talk about the suit, and you can't book the real guys. After being apart for more than 20 years, their first show was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at a venue that Joey Jr. and the fake band had played 1 week before.
And we haven't been together on stage in about 22 years. Right. Now this is the original baby of the bunch. He don't wear no ponytail like that sucker last week. A fake ponytail at that. And check it out. He goes by the name of the M-A-S, a T-R, a G with a W. Show some Albuquerque to the Master G. And we are the original Sugarhill Gang. All right, y'all, give me some funky. Give me something funky to work with.
I'm telling you, I had to hold back from, crying. Because I was like, the journey that, I went through to get to that moment, to just be able to put my hand up on stage like that and just listen to him scream because they dug what we did. It was crazy. And then, of course, we played some more songs for him and played some more live stuff for him, and it was a great show, and it was a wonderful night, but I never told anybody about that, so I figured, you heard it now.
Mike and Guy continued to tour and do their hits. Life was good for a little while.
We doing our thing. That's right, Czech Republic. Tour going real great.
Things were going well until Joey Jr. heard how successful their tours were. He then contacted promoters and threatened to sue them if they booked the real Sugarhill Band.
He called us traitors, and I'm gonna sue you guys. I have a contract. Not once did he say, you can't use the name. Not once did he say, I own the name Wonder Mike, Master G, because the contract didn't exist. He didn't tell us that. If it existed, it was the first thing he would have threw up in our faces, but he didn't say it because those things did not exist. When he found out about the tour, that's when he started trying to cause problems. Bottom line, he can't stop us from touring. We're the real deal. Everybody knows he's not. Everybody knows he has no talent. Everybody knows that he lip syncs. While we was on tour, he would even call up the promoters and tell the promoters that we were the fake group, that he had the real group book him instead.
Who? Joey?
I know.
Did you tell him to go fuck himself?
That's right.
Exactly. There you go.
That's exactly what you were supposed to tell him. That's right.
There you go. Thank
That's
you, my
right.
brother.
There you go.
Right, there you go.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Thank you. There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
How's he gonna do the show? He's supposed to be in Atlantic City doing the disco ball.
He ain't the real Master G.
Wow.
He knows that.
You notice he said he's been Master G for 20 years.
He knows that.
Yo.
He knows that.
Yo.
He knows he's not me.
Yeah.
Yo.
He could never be me.
And Hank can't move.
He could never be me.
He could never
Trust
be
that.
G.
He ain't got the real Wonder Mike. That's me.
Right.
He only got Hank. Hank can't move because he takes too much fucking crack. This
Right.
guy.
Ask him, is his voice on the record?
And he can't
Exactly.
move around. And people see past that, and he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. And we end up doing the shows anyway. We rock the house. We hear about them doing their shows, and they're terrible. Promoters have hired us after them. Said, man, I started not to mess with Sugarhill ever again because the show sucked. And people wanted their money back. It was crazy, but not with us.
Expectations were high that Wonder Mike and Master G would get some recognition on the 30th anniversary of the legendary hit Rapper's Delight. These are some of the highlights and events of that year as we followed the band.
What he wants you to understand is before any of this rap music record business was ever invented, it was 2 turntables and a microphone. 2 turntables. That's how it got started. And a microphone. Okay? So, what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna take you back into time. Back to the old school block party. Okay? So, how many Somebody say, all right. All right. Now somebody, anybody, everybody scream.
Hey, you just reached Joey. Leave your name and number, and I promise to get right back with you. Thank you.
Hey, Joey, it's Jay Berger. How are you? Listen, I've been contacted by a film company that's doing a documentary on the 30-year anniversary of Rapper's Delight. And they want to know if you'd like to be a part of the documentary and discuss Sugarhill Records' 30-year involvement with the Sugarhill Gang and what's happened over the past 30 years. Give me a call and let me know. I mean, they're willing to film it anywhere, whether it's in your office or even if you want to come to my office. But give me a call back and let me know if you're interested in doing it. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wow, 30th anniversary of the Sugarhill Gang and Rapper's Delight. I remember the first time I heard Rapper's Delight, as I was a DJ, and they used that Chic Good Times sample. So we had been already cutting that record up in clubs, and then Sugarhill came out, and I was like, okay, this sounds pretty good. And it was kind of a compilation of a lot of some rhymes that I'd heard before, but some that I had never heard before. But it was on a record, and I remember it first time it got played on the radio. And when I heard it on the radio, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be big." And it might have been Frankie Crocker or somebody like that at that time played the record, and I said, "Wow, they're playing this rap record as long as it is on the radio, like a lot." And I knew it was gonna be a big record.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, 1979. We ain't ready to do it for your mind. Let me hear you say, hey! Let's get down, y'all. Come on. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Come on. Come on. Put your hands up. Come on, y'all. 1, 2, 3.
How was the crowd tonight? Was it good?
It's a great crowd.
Yeah?
I mean, crowds are we playing only the greatest record in hip hop Rapper's Delight, so it ain't like you can really lose with that.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like rule number one,
Exactly.
you know, when in doubt, if the message don't work, that's what you play, Rapper's
So-
Delight.
You guys ever heard of the Sugarhill Gang?
Oh yeah, of course. Melly Mel, all them. Of course.
Yeah?
Of course. Master G, all them, yes.
We took Wonder Mike and Master G back to the sites that were instrumental in creating Rapper's Delight.
It was a pretty known thing that there was a big black guy from the Bronx,
Right.
that made features in here.
Right. But as far as people around here knew though, but in the Bronx, they knew Hank.
He was just bouncing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But here in Englewood,
he was known.
He was this guy from the Bronx that rapped and made features.
One of Wonder Mike's fellow MCs, Casper, was one of the first MCs approached by Sylvia and Joey Jr.
Once Casper turned him down. Across the street too. Right.
Right over
right
there.
across
Right.
the street.
Right across the street.
Joey pulled a U-turn.
And they busted a U-turn and they parked right here. And then of course, they brought him out. Right. He was in the car a few minutes, and a few minutes after he came in the car, that's when I came down the street. Right. I was coming from this direction, walking with Mark Green, and then I overhear them talk. You know, I hear them talking about, you know, doing the record, and my mother's looking for people to do records and so forth and so on. And I heard him saying, I heard Mark say, "Oh, you listen to people rap?" Oh, so he looked over here at me, talking about, "Oh, my man's all right, but you need to listen to my man. He's vicious." They were like, come on over. Right. So, of course, I got in the back of the car, and Hank was in the car. Right. You know, Hank was in the car. He was in the car with the pizza stuff all over him and all that kind of thing, you know? Yeah. So. And then they was like, well, let's go up to the house. So we ended up going up to Sylvia's house.
I was up there, like, accompanying my DJ. Went up there. So, yo, Mr. Rob, I can rap. He said, okay, let me hear what you got. He said a hip. The hip it, start doing it. Right.
It's been 30 years since Wonder Mike and Master G walked through those doors. The mansion that Pillow Talk bought was pretty impressive for these young guys from the other side of the tracks. The Robinsons like to put on a show of wealth. See what I got? Maybe you can get it too. When the mansion served its purpose, they dumped it in the 90s for a handsome profit, just like they dumped their artists.
How the hell did I end up here? Oh boy. Wow. Wee.
Damn.
Yo, this is insane.
No.
Let me see if I got,
Was it like 30?
I hit one of these damn columns 30 minutes after I got.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
I didn't go in here much.
I never went in there.
One of these rooms was
And this is Solarium.
light green or had some light.
Solarium. This was the Solarium.
Light green velvet furniture or something.
Yeah, the Solarium. See, they got it as a hall. Wow. This is crazy. This is it right here. This right here, Mike.
It's crazy. I never thought I'd be back in this room.
Me neither.
Ever.
Me neither.
Again.
Me neither.
How's it feel?
Crazy.
It's like 30 years kind of just whizzed by.
I feel like, to a certain degree, I could feel that energy that I felt that night, just kind of by sitting here. And then, like, you know, we spent, you know, we lived in this house for a while after that. You know, we ate here and this and that. So there's a lot of spirits in this room. When we were standing in that stairway, I remember seeing Mr. Rob go up those stairs, you know? And of course, he's gone too now.
I was already up here, but when Guy and Hank got up here, they were just about the same place, and Miss Rob was standing in that corner. I was sitting about right here, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, Miss Rob decides, well, that was pretty good. I think I'm gonna use both of y'all.
Right.
And something told me, speak the hell up. I mean, you in this big giant ass house.
Right.
And you know she used to sing Pillow Talk.
Right.
So, you know, I'm naive. I'm thinking, wow, one hit record, you can buy big giant houses. So, I didn't know nothing about the moments of that. So I said, Miss Rob, I could rap. And she said, well, let me hear what you got. I said, the hip, hop, the hip, hip, hop. Man, I started going through everything, my repertoire. I did The Chicken Tastes Like Wood, all that. Started talking about the books. Her dog, Mutsy. Oh,
yeah,
my
Mutsy.
God.
Yeah.
This dog, he didn't have fur. He looked like a walking hairbrush.
Love that dog, though, bro.
Oh, man, no, like a barbecue grill brush or something.
Like a Brillo.
But she said, oh, man, I like that. You come in.
Mm-hmm.
Guy said M-A-S-T-E-R. Now, Hank, you do the hotel motel. Now you go back to the hip hop, and we went like till about 4 a.m. just doing that back and forth. She said, well, I'm not gonna decide between all y'all. I tell you what I'm gonna do. She did like this shit. I'm gonna marry y'all make one group. Yep. And I was come in Monday and we'll start recording because that was a Friday night.
Right.
Freestyle.
Yeah, I'm up here coming off the top. I mean, I'm freestyling. I'm coming off the top of my head, coming off the dome, saying this and that. I'm giving up my best stuff. And every time,
elegance.
Yeah, man, it's my thing right here. And every time I give it back to him, he kept saying the same thing. So I'm thinking, well, okay, maybe that's his bread and butter. So he's doing it over and over again because, it seemed like that was working. But, like I said, later on, of course, we found out the reason why he kept saying the same thing is because he had no raps. He was reciting raps that he remembered, that he heard somebody else do.
My man Hank, come on, Hank, sing that song. Check it out. Well, I'm Imp the Dimp, the ladies pimp, the women fight for my delight, but I'm the Grand Master with the 3 MCs.
I'm the Grandmaster. Damn. Right. Let me show you how this shit came, how it's funny, right? First of all, I'm the CAS and the OVA. You're not the CA. That was my name. Casanova Fly. Right. Was my name before I shortened it to Grandmaster Cass. Right. When I was a B-boy, my name was Casanova Fly. So when Hank used the rhyme, now any MC, if you're in a regular ghostwriting situation where we know that this is going down, I would have said, all right, fix this, Hank. Say I'm the B-I-G-H-A-N-K, you know what I mean? But he was so much not an MC, he didn't even know enough to change the shit to put his own name in it. And the most ironic part is like, whatever you do in your lifetime, you never let an MC steal your rhyme.
That's the craziest part of the whole shit.
Okay.
Right there.
And he said some stolen shit.
People who know real hip hop, they know that Cass wrote Hank's rhyme in Rapper's Delight. So everybody
single
thinks
word,
that
letter, period, comma.
Right. So everybody think that Mike and G didn't write their part either.
Mike and I, we wrote everything. Everything that we said on Rapper's Delight was written. His stuff, he wrote every word. My stuff, I wrote every word.
I wanted to explain what we were doing, and I brought a little something from the Outer Limits. I said, now what you hear is not a test. Okay, what is it? I'm rapping to the beat. Who are you? What is rap? Me, Groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. Now that's rhythmic. That's, in a nutshell, explaining what I'm doing. Well, who the hell are you? I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello. What's up, play? And it was all good from there, brother. And I passed the mic to Hank. He did Cass's rhyme. I mean, he did his rhyme. No, he did Cass's rhymes. Keep it real.
The cattle bit this rhyme was my manager. Pure treason, I'll tell you why. Cause he's 6 foot 1, 2 tons of bone, he can't dress to a T. He ain't got no clothes, much less no hoes, and ain't even no MC. Word, no bodyguards, and them 2 cars, the Lincoln and the Cadillac. He said about it in song, when them ships are gone, and my money probably came for that. See, when I was in high school, he did some shit uncool that was really off the wall. He made a deal with the Sugarhill Gang to rap, and weeks later gave me a call. He said I need some rhymes to rock off good times. I said, why? You ain't no MC. He said these people in Jersey got 2 for the gang. He did the dirt, so they picked me. I gave it to him, taking checkbooks, credit cards, no money that a sucker could ever spend. But he never gave a nigga not a goddamn dollar. Was supposed to be my friend. It ain't no one I was mad at was Hank. You know what I mean? The rest of these cats, they was MCs at the time, so you know what I mean? They was just doing what they was doing. It's the other nigga that robbed me, alright? He's the one that took my lyrics and sang them on the song like they was his own lyrics, okay? But now things things have come full circle, and he's out, and I'm back in. I'm in, you understand what I'm saying? And we're gonna do this the way it's supposed to be done in the first place.
You know he did wrong.
You know he did wrong.
You know you
Exactly.
did wrong,
Exactly.
and you perpetrated one of the biggest frauds in the history of hip-hop. You sullied the reputation of your whole group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And with Rappers Delight being the first of its kind to have those kind of dark shadows behind it, with Joey and the company and Hank's chicanery and shit, it just cast a fucking bad shadow on something that that was, you know, momentous.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We ain't supposed to be in the Sugarhill Gang.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
What manager who has one of the best rappers or MCs in the game is not going to tell you, well, listen, I don't rap, but I represent. I'm the manager for one of the baddest cats out there.
Exactly.
That's what he was supposed to do.
Y'all need to talk to him.
That's what he was supposed to do. My name never came up in Sugarhill. Why not?
Well,
Why
it was
not?
a perfect match, you know. Robinson's fake. Hey,
company's fake, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, y'all wasn't fake. And Rappers Delight ain't fake, you know what I'm saying? It's a momentous record, it's monumental, it's the first, you know what I'm saying? And say what you want, whether it's the goodest, and I was his worst critic at one time, but I wasn't criticizing the record or the group, I was criticizing Hank.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because in all actuality, me, Mike, and G is supposed to be the Sugarhill Gang.
Yep.
Come on, dance in that
I'm down with the writers. I'm down with the writers. I don't have no love for Joey, no love for Hank, no Stookie, Shookie, whatever, nobody over there. I don't know them. They don't know me. They don't care about me, and I don't care about them. As far as this record is concerned, this is our record.
But I never make excuses for being there at the right time, because at the time, I was assed out. Yo, when we go record a Rappers Delight, I wanted to get my sleeping place in the park after Rappers Delight was recorded. And I damn it, I said I wasn't gonna say that shit in this thing, but that's what happened. I was hungry that day, B. I was not going back to the park. But we found out at one of these shows, he was doing an interview, and the guy said, well, where's Mike and G? And he said, oh, they died. Wow. That's dirty as hell. That chapter of our life is done. If I live to be 90 years old, I will never be in a group with Hank Jackson again.
You know, it wasn't really like heavily produced. You know, like the songs later on.
It wasn't even produced, really.
No, really, it was kind of like they just wanted to hear what we were going to do.
We got there, took off our jackets, went in that big room, no booths, no partitions,
nothing,
just 3 mics set up next to each other.
Headphones, 3 mics, 3 headphones.
I was to the left, Hank was in the middle, and Guy was on the right.
Yep.
And you just recorded that one song.
Yeah.
Yeah. The song is 15 minutes long, and we recorded the vocals in 17 minutes. We only stopped one time, and that was when I passed it to Hank for the first time.
Right.
Come on, Hank, sing that song. And he's so mentally sharp, he didn't quite
He didn't
catch
get it. which is another telltale sign
that he
wasn't a rapper.
Passing it to you, bro.
Because when
do your shit.
Because when I finished, I passed it back to him, and he kept going.
Yeah.
Because we knew that's how you got the mic to the next person.
Right.
But when we passed it to Hank, he didn't know what to do.
The end of Rappers Delight is not the end of that recording, that vocal session. It goes on for about another minute, but it's faded out before that.
Yeah, they faded it.
But there was no stopping to direct us or produce us. Nothing. Nothing.
And
push record after Hank started. Finished.
Bullshit.
Exactly. They only looked in
their
Jersey.
name is on everything. And they
Everything.
ain't write a word.
They didn't write a
didn't
word.
write a stitch
It was supposed to
or
be Love
contribute
Boat Starsky,
anything
I
to the
thought.
record.
Right.
Or any of the records for that matter, as far as I know.
Right.
I know they ain't writing none of Flashing them shit.
Right.
No.
And I know who wrote all that.
Exactly.
So why is her name on every record?
On every record.
I didn't even get my name on some of them shit.
Okay, so why is Sylvia Robinson name on everything?
Right.
Or Joey.
Or Joey's now.
Sugarhill Records never contacted Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards, who wrote the song Good Times, which was the track under Rapper's Delight. After the attorneys talked, Joe Sr. had given away the writers' credits to Nile and Bernard without ever consulting with Master G and Wonder Mike. If you buy a record of Rapper's Delight today, you won't see the original writers credited. This had a devastating effect on Guy and Mike.
This whole issue with Joey, I heard from somebody who said to somebody that he's putting somebody on the street, he wants to come at me because he thinks that if he can shut me down, he's going to shut them down. My concern, I'm not that I'm worried about what he can do, but somebody like that who's desperate, I don't know who he's going to talk to, or he's, who he might say, look, do me a favor, here's, a stack or something, go do something and talk to this guy at Albowitz. And I'm worried it's going to happen if I'm out with the guys, we're doing a show, maybe we have an interview somewhere, and it causes a bigger disturbance than it should. Next thing you know, we get bad publicity and the guys don't need it,
And you feel that they're retaliating because there's two Sugarhill Gang.
Right here, I need to get your hands up. Come on. Right here, I need to get your hands up.
For some reason, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wanted the Sugarhill Gang to perform. But unfortunately, they didn't get the real Sugarhill Gang. We don't know exactly who performed. We don't know if any original member was there, but we know for sure that Wonder Mike and Master G were not there. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gave credence to a fake group.
Exactly. But what we're trying to do, like I said, we have this documentary explaining what they've gone through with the new music that's coming out. We believe it's going to have a very successful and happy ending one way or another. But we wanted to see if it was possible just to get, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's take on the situation, and even see if there was an opportunity, if we were to prove to you that there was no legal ramification on your part, to maybe have the guys, with the ability to possibly perform there at some point. Oh, we're always open to that.
Right here, I need to get your hands up. Come on. Right here, I need to get your hands up. Come on. Right here, I need to get your hands up.
They deserve it. I mean, they put in that work, opened so many doors for hip-hop as a whole, man. It's like, if they don't deserve to be there, I don't know who does.
For the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I know that Joey and his people have been in contact with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in an effort to disinterest them from holding the event, the tribute weekend. Joey's reputation precedes him, and people, when they hear about the Sugarhill Gang or when we're attempting to make connections or have events, or even the artists that we're trying to book for the event, it's like, well, the Sugarhill Gang wasn't interested in us, or you guys caused trouble in the past, so we're really not, we're really not trying to be associated. And it's like, well, Joey is his own person, and we are our own set. So trying to get everybody to understand that it's two separate things is really hard.
Despite all the court cases and obstacles, Wonder Mike and Master G continued to perform and create new music. There was also a 30th anniversary tribute concert to be performed at Guy's High School. The band offered to teach a master class and perform the concert for free. It was canceled by the Inglewood Board of Education at the last minute because it cost too much.
I'm disappointed in their judgment. The Sugarhill Gang is an experience that was born and bred within the city limits of Inglewood. To not afford the youth of our community the opportunity to meet them firsthand and to see a success story, a snapshot of America, if you would, is just inexcusable and political.
Joey decided to bring a list of probably 10 or 15 promoters into the lawsuit, promoters that book us, and sue them for booking us. And that pretty much shut us down. I mean, you know, November, December, January, February, it's been dry season to the point where you have 4 guys and they're not bringing in income. You know, there's been times we've sat down and had to have a real discussion about what do we do? Do we put it on hold and everybody tries to figure out, get another job, try to figure out a way to make money? And I think we've been very lucky. God's blessed us. He's been on our side, and he's allowed us some way to find a way to get through it, whether guy has to borrow from a friend money to pay his mortgage on his house in LA, or whether, you know, Mike's got to borrow a few bucks to be able to go buy groceries.
I got to tell you, when I told my friends that I was going to have the Sugarhill Gang at my Kiss Cancer Goodbye event, everybody started singing the lyrics back to a hip hop, hip. We are so excited to have them here because we grew up on them, and we just can't believe that they came to my event in Kinnelon.
So tell me something, when I say sugar, y'all say hill, sugar, sugar. When I say sugar, baby, y'all say hill, sugar, sugar. Y'all give it up for the one and the only original Sugarhill Gang.
Oh yeah. What's up, y'all? I'm the Master G. That's Wonder Mike. Yeah. That's Head Genie. That's my man, T Dynasty. Come on, T. Come on. It's a new song we doing in LA. All over the world. Come on, keep it doing it. Put your hands up.
I am Master G of the Sugarhill Gang, and I'm here to do the La La video with my man, Bob Sinclair.
What's happening, man? This is Hen Dog, Sugarhill Gang, baby.
Another beautiful day. Bob Sinclair.
Oh, yeah, we going back in the day, player. It's all good. Come on.
It quickly rose to #1 in a number of European countries. They tried to find a U.S. distributor without any luck.
Sergio and Joe are promotion marketing guys that work with me on a lot of different projects because we're all independent. And I said the song was great. I sent it to Sergio. He loved it. And we told Ed basically that we should do a little promotion on it and start, working it to the DJ panel.
The last song they had on any chart, either on Hot 100 or the Billboard Club chart, was in 1982 with a song called Apache. We're going #1.
We're gonna go #1.
We're going for #1. If it's the second week out and it's a Hot Chart debut, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign.
La La Song was Guy and Mike's first hit in 25 years. La La Song was released in the U.S. markets with no budget. It climbed the charts because the DJs loved the beats and it made people dance and feel good about themselves. judge was to decide whether the Robinsons could not only own the trademark on the name the Sugarhill Gang, but also the trademark on their individual names, Master G and Wonder Mike. Guy and Mike and the band were in desperate need of money and in danger of having their upcoming European tour canceled. The guys were busted. The European tour was starting at the end of the week. Joey threatened to have the tour canceled.
Come on, man. Look at the 3 albums. Joey was never a member of the Sugarhill Gang.
Joey's strategy worked perfectly. Him and his attorneys would string it out in court, wait for you to run out of money, and then get you to settle without a trial.
Show some love from our Lord to the